Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidul Mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabi Allah. Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. MashaAllah, viewers of Madani Channel, you are tuned into the silsila yesterday, today and tomorrow. And what do we do on yesterday, today and tomorrow? On this program, we look into our past, our rich heritage. And that's the first thing, I keep on mentioning this. We have such a rich heritage. And week in, week out, whenever I go up and down the country here and I talk to brothers, I find out that very few of us know about our rich heritage. The fact that we have such fantastic role models to look up to find out about their lives, the sacrifices that they made, you know, how they lived their lives, or every aspect in their life are role models for others. And so in this series of programs, we look at the role models of the past. We look to yesterday. We try and learn something from yesterday to make a change today in our lives so that we can have a better tomorrow. And so we look at our rich heritage, we look at our pious predecessors, we look at the family of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we look at the companions of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ultimately, we look at the life of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to see what we can gain from their lives that can benefit us today. You know, a lot of people, and I've had this discussion quite a lot of people feel that the irrelevance of the people of the past, in the sense that, not out of respect, but the fact that they feel that they lived in a different era, a different time, a different place. The problems that we are facing, the situation that we are facing is completely different. And so we have this unwillingness to try and find out about their lives. We have this unwillingness to try and learn something from their life. But I think it's very important for us that we are aware of our rich heritage. We are aware of the ideal role models that we have in history that we can learn something from to improve our lifestyle today. Inshallah, before we begin, we're going to give you a blessing of reciting Durud Pak upon the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The fourth Khalifa of the Muslims, Sayyiduna Ali radiallahu anhu, he is narrated to have said that whenever you pass by a masjid, send salat upon the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's very important for us that we try to make a habit of reciting Durud Pak upon the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Viewers of Madani Channel, today we're going to talk about one of the great personalities of Islam. We're going to talk about the grandson of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, none other, Sayyiduna Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu. Now, many of us may be aware of the trials and tribulations that took place on the plains of Karbala. And if you are not aware, then I advise you to read up on this subject about the trials and tribulations that faced by Sayyiduna Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu and all his family. But at the same time, the life of Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu is not just to them few days that were on the battlefield of Karbala. There is so much more that we can learn from his life. And today we're going to introduce him a little bit, mention some of the things that have happened in his life, and hopefully try and learn something from it. And just to let you know his status, the status that he had. There was a gathering in which Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu anhu and other personalities of great lineage and honor were also mentioned. And these people were mentioned in the presence of the grandson of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu. And Amir Muawiyah radiallahu anhu asked the question, do you people know who is the most honorable in respect of his parents, his paternal grandfather, his paternal grandmother, his maternal grandfather, his maternal grandfather, his maternal aunt, and his maternal uncle? And the people replied that, Ya Sayyidi, you know better than us. Please answer this question. After hearing this, Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, he took hold of the hand of Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu. He said to him, listen to this. He said, this is the most honorable personality. His father, Allahu Akbar, Mawla Ali radiallahu anhu, the noble mother, his noble mother, Fatima to Zahra, the beloved daughter of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His maternal grandfather is the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His maternal grandmother is Sayyidina Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu anha. His paternal uncle is Sayyidina Jafar Tayyar radiallahu anha. His paternal aunt is Hala bint Abu Talib. His maternal uncle is Sayyiduna Qasim radiallahu anhu, the son of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his maternal aunt is Sayyiduna Zainab, the daughter of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the relationship that they had, the lineage that he had, was beyond doubt, any greater than anybody there. And all the people replied to Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu anhu that you have related the absolute truth. They acknowledge the people, and this is the personality that we're talking about today. But like I said, unfortunately, we know very little about his life. We hear some aspects of when he was young, how Imam Hussain, the love that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him, that he allowed his grandchildren to play, they allowed him to climb on his back, he allowed him to do all these things. And unfortunately nowadays when we have children in the room and we're trying to pray or we're trying to do something and we get very angry with them, we tell the mothers to get them out of the room. You do not see I'm reading my namaz? Can you not see I'm reading the Quran? Can you not see I'm doing my ibadat? And let you leaving these children in here. We need to realize that these children, they look at you. If I standing here all day, I sit here all day and I talk about the esteemed character of Sayyidina Imam Hussain, then how did he get that character? He got that character from being in the company of these pious people that we just mentioned, for being in the company of his pious mother, for being in the company of his pious father, for being in the company of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so that company that he had, the character building that he received there, the tarbiyah that he received there, the love and affection that he received there as well, reflects on them. Whereas nowadays, we're reluctant to give love to our children. We're reluctant to express our love to our children. We're reluctant to, hug our children, show our love for our children. I know of people that have said that they've never been hugged by the parents, that the father has never hugged them, the mother has never hugged them. And if you look at the life of the Prophet of Allah, not only hugged them, he carried them. He carried them on his shoulder, he carried them on his shawl. He'd be on the pulpit doing a bayan, and they'd be on his knees sitting there. This love and affection, where has it gone nowadays? Nowadays, the children, unfortunately, when the father comes home, they run to a room and hide because they're scared of being in front of the father. So this love and affection that we see in the way that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his grandchildren is tarbiyah for us. It is a message for us. It's a wake-up call for us. Nobody can say to us, oh, that's relevant to then, that's relevant to... No, it's relevant today. Do children not need love today? Do children not need respect today? Do children not need tarbiyah today? Do children not need to be taught today? Of course they do. And in fact, if you think about it, the role of the parents, I'm going aside from the topic, the role of the parents is greater than it's ever been. And I mentioned this many times that we live here in the West. We live here in a country where we're not surrounded by Islam. If you're living in a country which is an Islamic country, so to speak, then you hear the azan 5 times a day. There is something about in that country that will help the tarbiyah of the children. The madrasas are there, the masjids are there, whatever it is, there's something there. Whereas here now, the onus is on you as parents. When you are in Pakistan or you're in India or in any of these countries, the extended family also take part in the tarbiyah of the family. The example that I give, that the Prophet of Allah was part of the tarbiyah of Imam Hussain. And so when you're living in these countries where you have the extended family, then they are part of the tarbiyah. But here you're living on your own. You're living with your children. Right? And now the onus is on you is greater than ever before. Your role as a mother, your role as a father is greater than ever before. Before we go to the break, I just want to mention a waqia that took place about how Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, the respect that they had for each other as well. Once someone asked for something from the beloved son of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, and he came to Sayyidina Imam Hassan Mushtaba, and he said to him radiallahu anhu, I want something, I have a need for something. And Sayyidina Imam Hassan radiallahu anhu, he said to him that it is not permissible to ask for anything except for in 3 cases. Number 1, if you have an abundance of debt. Number 2, poverty that turns one into a beggar. And number 3, a huge amount of security. Now, again, there's a message there for us as well, that nowadays we borrow money when we don't really need it. We ask for money when we don't really need it. Why? Because I want a better car, I want a better house, I want a better sofa, I want a better TV, I want a better phone, I want a better thing. And all of these things that we want to better in our life. And as a result of making these better in our life, we go into debt This is not acceptable for us. Yeah, I'm not saying get that better car, get that better house, get all of them things, but live by your means. Why are you putting yourself into debt for all of these things? And in this particular case, come back to the story now. The person said to him that I have come to you due to one of these reasons. I have come to you due to one of these reasons. Now again, what's amazing is that Imam Hussain, Imam Hassan, he didn't ask him which one, why, what, he didn't ask him the specific details of that. He commanded to give him 100 dinars, i.e. gold coins. And thereafter that person left. That person left, and then he went to Imam Hussain. And again, he asked the same question. Now Imam Hussain had the same tarbiyah, and he then asked him the same question, that, look, you're only allowed to ask for money under these 3 conditions. And the person replied that I fulfill one of these conditions. Again, Imam Hussain never asked him, which one? And what he did is, he was aware of the fact that he had been to Imam Hassan. So he asked him, what did my elder brother give you? What did my elder brother give you? And he said to him that Imam Hassan gave me 100 gold dinars. Now nowadays, what happens is we try to one up on each other. Yeah? That if someone's given 100, then I have to give 120, I have to give 140, And what happens is we're constantly one-upping on each other to prove that we are better. What did Imam Hussain do? He gave him 99 gold coins. 99 gold coins, because he didn't want to go, up on his elder brother, the respect of his elder brother, that he didn't want it to make it seem that he was more generous than his elder brother. So out of respect, he gave 99. That person then took the 99 and he went to another person, and he went to Sayyiduna Abdullah bin Umar, and he asked him for something, and he gave him 7 dinars without asking him anything. He didn't ask him any question. He didn't say to him, there's only these 3 conditions. He gave him 7 dinars, and he mentioned to him the entire account of going to Imam Hassan and going to Imam Hussain and what they had done and how they'd given this money. To which he said, how strange that you are deeming me to be like them. They are both indeed the ocean of knowledge and wealth. Meaning, he said, this person, Sayyidina Abdullah, he said that you are trying to put me in the same category of these 3 people, which is one thing that we learn from here. The other thing that we learn from here is that the respect that they had for the elder brother, that he did not want to go one up with his elder brother. His elder brother gave 100, he gave 99. Nowadays, what happens? Like I said, at weddings, we make a note of what they give, because next time we need to give more. When our child is born, we make a note of what they give, because next time if they have a child, we need to give more. At weddings, and you see it there. What is this? We're always trying to one up ourselves and try to prove that we are better than others, and we're constantly trying to prove we are better than others. You might gain the respect of the people in this dunya by spending more or giving more. And people might think higher of you, that you have been able to spend more than an individual or give more than an individual. But do you think that in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jalla you gain more respect? Now again, it's all about intentions. It's all about intentions, that if someone gives £100 in the way of Allah and that encourages you, and you think, if he can give 100, then I should be able to give 200. That's a good thing. But if you're giving a 200 just so that you can prove that you're better than him, you're more generous than him, you're richer than him, you're more powerful than him, then no. Have the intentions. And this again, I come back to an age-old topic that, alhamdulillah, when the environment of Dawah Islami, Amir Sunnat, the founder of Dawah Islami, he's taught us about our intentions. That whenever you do something, what is your intention? What is my intention for coming here today? What is my intention for sitting here today? What is my intention every day, every part of my life? What is my intention? And asking ourselves, am I sitting here today so that someone will say, wow, he's on Madani Channel and da-da-da-da, so subhanallah, subhanallah. No. And if that is my intention, then I've got a problem. And so we need to ask our intentions, look at our intentions in everything that we do. And the example here we're giving is spending in the way of Allah, or giving to somebody a wedding, giving somebody as a gift. What is our intention in looking at that? We're going to take a small break now. We've got a small package for you, inshallah. When we come back, we'll continue with the topic of Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Respected viewers of Madani Channel, when we talk about Sayyiduna Yahya alayhi salam, Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are certain qualities and attributes which have been mentioned in the Holy Quran, which he alayhi salam possessed. One of the qualities and attributes mentioned in the Holy Quran of Sayyiduna Yahya alayhi salam, inshallah, we'll learn today in this very short clip. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Holy Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبرا بوالديه, and he was dutiful towards his parents. So respected viewers of Madani Channel, one of the attributes which Sayyidina Yahya alayhi salam possessed was that he was dutiful towards his parents. He was obedient and kind, and he showed kindness towards his parents. This is what we need to learn, that Anbiya Kiram, Awliya Kiram, they knew that what it means to respect the parents and how they were dutiful and kind towards their parents. This is what we need to learn. We should also be kind with our parents. We should speak with them kindly, softly. We should be soft spoken to them. If they say anything which is not against Sharia, we should follow that. We should listen that. We should do that act immediately without any delay. Whenever they are in need, we should be present at their service. And this is what we learn from the seerah of Sayyidina Yahya alayhi salam and in the seerah of Anbiya Kiram and Awliya Kiram. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala give us tawfiq that we truly understand the status of our parents and respect them, love them, show reverence and serve them, because this will take us close to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Before the break, we were talking about Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, and how the respect that he had for his brother. And, you know, this is something that we are starting to lose out now. The respect that we should have for our siblings. Now, what happens is that in a lot of cases, the elder brother, or in some cases the elder sister, feels that she must be respected or he must be respected because he's the eldest. That's true. The elder brother must be respected, but at the same time, the elder brother, the elder sister need to show love and compassion to the younger siblings as well. With regards to the eldest brother, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the right of the elder brother among his younger brother is like that of a father upon his children. The responsibility of the elder brother, especially when the father is no longer there, becomes greater. The responsibility of the elder brother at that time is now like that of a father. So although the father is there to be respected, but the father also has a role and responsibilities. In the same way, the elder brother is not just a person there for respect, he's a person there to fulfill his role, to show that love, to show that compassion, to show that caring, to be there for them. Whereas unfortunately what happens is we see in a lot of cases that, and I've seen so many articles on this, so many social media posts on this, that, you know, those people that held the family together are no longer with us. And now the family is separated. And it's the parents that hold the family together. But then the role of holding the family together now falls on the elder brother. When the parents are no longer there, it is their responsibility. If the family split and separate, then it'll be because of the elder brother. If the family stay close together, then ultimately it'll be because of the elder brother. So I think it's important that we realize our roles, whether you are the eldest or whether you are the youngest or whether you are in the middle. And if you are younger, if you have an elder brother, then you are fortunate that you've got an elder brother to be able to look up to gain that support from, to get that courage from, to be able to continue in your life. But if you've not got an elder brother and you are the eldest, then as the eldest, you also need to realize that you need to show that love and compassion and care for your younger siblings. And again, we come back to the parental role here. The parental role is pivotal in creating that environment at home. And if parents politely teach their children to love and look after each other from their childhood. You know, what happens is you see in certain households where the children are, I'm trying to think of the word, they're not separated in the sense, but they're preferred. Yes, I think that's the word. Where someone will say, oh, look at that child, how beautiful she is. She's so beautiful. Look at, you know, her nose, her hair, and yet the other child, nobody's praising that child. And so that child now automatically feels, you know, as if, you know, they're not wanted. Yeah? Oh, look at how clever you are. You know, look how clever you are. Never not praising the other child. You know, look how fast you ran. Look at what you did. Praising that one child, and that other child is not getting that praise. Automatically, whether you like it or not, that child will not like the elder sibling or that sibling, whether it's an older or younger one. Because you're praising this child and you're not praising this one. So again, as a parent, we need to be very careful that when we praise our children, we praise our children in such a way that all of our children get praised. MashaAllah, yours is very good. MashaAllah, your writing is very, and your drawing was very good. I can see that you did an excellent job. You know, I know you can do better, but excellent. MashaAllah, proud of you. Give them encouragement to both. Now, for 1 second, you know, here we're talking about children now. But even in the work environment, as a professional person in an office, if your boss comes out and constantly praises one worker and doesn't praise you, we're not talking about siblings here, a fellow colleague, a fellow worker, if your boss constantly came out and praised a certain worker and didn't praise you, how would you feel? If, whatever environment you are in a school and the head teacher comes out and praises one teacher all the time and doesn't praise the other teachers, how will they feel? Automatically they'll start to feel a disdain towards that teacher that you're constantly praising. Even if that teacher is, you know, the qualities that you praised in them is true, but automatically because they feel that, you know, we're trying our best, but nobody's praising us. Nobody's appreciating our efforts. You know, nobody's appreciating what hard work we are doing. So in the same way that in our lives, we all want appreciation. We all want appreciation for the hard work that we've done. We all want appreciation for the good work that we've done. We want to be appreciated for our efforts. And if we as adults want that appreciation, want that respect, do you think children don't need it? Do you think children don't want it? Yes, they do. And you'll see in those families where when children grow up, when they have a little bit of hatred for each other, they have a little bit of distance between each other, it'll go back to at some point with the parents effectively differentiated between these two children. Differentiated to them in such a way that that distance was put inside them. That you're the best and you're just okay. You're really good, but you're just okay. And again, automatically you're creating that distance. And that distance not only affects them all of their life, it affects the love relationship they have between the children, and that distance will start to go further and further away as well. Sayyidina, again, another beautiful incident that took place. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu narrates that I came to know that something unpleasant had occurred between Sayyiduna Imam Hussain and Imam Hussain. You know, like they had a little tiff or a little disagreement, and he became aware of it. And so he said, I went to Imam Hussain, and I said to him, that people consider you both to be their leaders. Please go to your elder brother and speak to him, for you are younger than him. Upon this, Sayyidina Imam Hussain said, if I had not heard the statement that the one who is first to reconcile will enter paradise first, I heard this from the Prophet of Allah, then I would definitely go to him. But I do not like the fact that I enter paradise before my brother. Allahu Akbar. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah then states, after this I went to Sayyidina Imam Hussain and I related the entire account to him, whereupon he said, my brother has spoken the truth. And then he came to Sayyidina Imam Hussain and they spoke to him. Allahu Akbar. Again, having this mindset of forgiveness. You know, here there's two things. One, Sayyidina Imam Hussain as the younger brother said that, yes, I would go to him, I'm willing to go to him, but I want my brother to enter paradise before me. And secondly, when the elder brother was made aware of that, he could have turned around. He said, yeah, but I'm the elder brother. You know, I'm the elder brother. He should come to me. Does he not know that I'm the elder brother? Does he not know the status of the elder brother? He's quoted that hadith that the first one that reconciles goes into paradise. But does he not know that the status of the elder brother is like a father? Why is he not coming to me? No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. And he went to Imam Hussain and reconciled. Again, this shows that softness in the hearts that they had. And again, nowadays, we don't want to forgive each other. We don't forgive each other because of the status that we have, because of the age that we have, because of the knowledge that we have, because of the money that we have, because of the power that we have. All of these things that we feel make us better than other people, more powerful than other people. The status that we have, why should I seek forgiveness from him? Who does he think he is? He should be coming to me. Why? Because he's younger than me? No. That's not what our deen teaches us. Why? Because he's not got as much money? No, that's not what our deen teaches us. Why? Because he's not got as much power as me? No, that's not what our deen teaches us. Our deen doesn't teach us to not be forgiving and to wait for our status that people come and forgive us, and seek forgiveness from us. No. You know, I mentioned this many times. I don't know if some of the viewers may remember this. There's a saying in Urdu that, you know, when you go and do something like that, where you seek forgiveness from someone that's younger than you, less powerful than you, less educated than you, whatever status you want to put on this, whatever you want to put on this, तो कहते हैं कि अगर मैं इससे माफ़ी मांगूं तो नक कट जाएगी. Meaning that if I seek forgiveness from someone that is lower than me, then my nose will be cut off. Okay? I'll cut my nose off. I'm in my 50s now. I'm still looking for that person who hasn't got a nose. If anybody can find the person that lost his nose because he sought forgiveness from someone younger than him, less powerful than him, less rich than him, and he sought his forgiveness, and as a result of that his nose fell off, then let me know. But you all know that that's not the case. That's not the case. This saying is not true. This doesn't add up. Seeking forgiveness from anyone doesn't lower your status. Seeking forgiveness from people that are younger than you, less powerful than you, less wealthy than you, less educated than you, does not lower your status. It increases your status. And we see here that Imam Hussain, the elder brother, went to his younger brother to reconcile. Could he not have said that, look, I'm the eldest? No, he didn't. And so these are all messages there for us to learn something from us, that we need to have that mercy inside our hearts. And again, sometimes I think about it that, you know, nowadays people aren't willing to forgive each other because they feel they don't need each other. I don't need him. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. If he doesn't talk to me for the rest of my life, I don't care. And because we don't seek this forgiveness from each other, then this can become a burden for us on the Day of Judgment. That if two brothers don't reconcile within 3 days, then it can cause a problem for you. And the other amazing thing is that we don't seek forgiveness from each other, but we seek forgiveness from our Rabb. Ya Allah, forgive me. Ya Allah, forgive all the mistakes that I've made. And we seek forgiveness from our Creator, but we're not willing to forgive others, irrespective of their status. We're not even willing to forgive other people that are, you know, richer than us, wealthier than us, more powerful than us. And if we do forgive them, we're forgiving them because we want them, we need them. We should not forgive each other because we need them. We should not forgive each other because we want them. We should not forgive each other because we need something from them. We should forgive each other because that is what our deen teaches us. To have that mercy inside yourself, to have that love inside yourself, to have that compassion inside, to seek that forgiveness from each other. But unfortunately nowadays, you know, go into our own corners. You know, I've even seen with my own eyes where two brothers have not spoken to each other for 15 years, 20 years. I know if you were to sit down with them and ask them, why are you not speaking with your brother? They have to think. They have to try and remember. Oh, yeah, it was, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember now. It's because he didn't invite me to his son's wedding. I remember now, he didn't consider my daughter when he was getting his son. These little issues, and yes, they are little issues. You made a life-changing event in you that you're not speaking to your brother, and then when that same brother passes away, you're sitting in the puri, you're sitting in the masjid, and you're crying at the loss of your brother. Yet you've not spoken to him in 15 years. Forgive each other. Let's go and seek forgiveness from our neighbors, from our relatives, from our brothers, from our sisters, from our parents, from our children. all those people that are upset with us, all those people that don't want to talk to us, seek forgiveness from them. What have you got to lose? What will you lose in seeking forgiveness from all the people that you've fallen out with? Believe me, your status will increase. If your status does not increase in this world, insha'Allah Azza wa Jal, it'll increase in the afterlife as well. That we are told that if two people are arguing, have fallen out, and one person backs away, backs out of the argument, even though he knows he's on haqq, even though he knows he's on the truth, the Prophet of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that he will have a guaranteed place in the corner of paradise. By seeking that forgiveness, what have you got to lose? Are we going to live our lives? I remember again, I was in a town and two cousins lived on the same street. And they made sure that when they went out and got in the cars that the other cousin was not there, they just didn't speak to them. And if they did come out of the house at the same time, they wouldn't look at each other, they'd get in the cars and make sure that the cars pointed in the opposite directions and went that way. What kind of life is this? Alhamdulillah, they've reconciled, alhamdulillah, they're now speaking, but that time happened. And why is that time happening? Because we've allowed it to happen. So seek forgiveness from each other. Learn to forgive each other. Go and visit them, and reconcile with them. We're going to take a small break now, inshallah. We've got the kalam of the day, inshallah. When we come back from the kalam of the day, inshallah, we're going to continue with the topic of the day. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
روشن کر قبر بے کسوں کی اے شمع جمال مصطفیٰ آنکھوں میں چمک کے دل میں آ جا اے شمع جمال مصطفیٰ اے سبز گنبد والے منظور دعا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا اے نور خدا آ کر آنکھوں میں سما جانا یا در پہ بلا لینا یا خواب میں آ جانا اے نور خدا آ کر آنکھوں میں سما جانا یا در پہ بلا لینا یا خواب میں آ جانا اے پردہ نشین دل کے پردے میں رہا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا میں قبر اندھیری میں گھبراؤں گا جب تنہا امداد میری کرنے آ جانا رسول اللہ میں قبر اندھیری میں گھبراؤں گا جب تنہا امداد میری کرنے آ جانا رسول اللہ روشن میری تربت کو اے نور خدا کرنا روشن میری تربت کو اے نور خدا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا مجرم ہوں جہاں بھر کا محشر میں برہم رکھنا رسوائے زمانہ ہوں دامن میں چھپا لینا مجرم ہوں جہاں بھر کا محشر میں برہم رکھنا رسوائے زمانہ ہوں دامن میں چھپا لینا مقبول یہ عرض میری محبوب خدا کرنا مقبول یہ عرض میری محبوب خدا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا چہرے سے ضیاء پائی ان چاند ستاروں نے اس در سے شفا پائی دکھ درد کے ماروں نے چہرے سے ضیاء پائی ان چاند ستاروں نے اس در سے شفا پائی دکھ درد کے ماروں نے آتا ہے انہیں صابر ہر دکھ کی دوا کرنا آتا ہے انہیں صابر ہر دکھ کی دوا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا اے سبز گنبد والے منظور دعا کرنا جب نزع کا وقت آئے دیدار عطا کرنا
Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm hoping that you enjoyed that kalam as much as we did here in the studio. Viewers of Madani Channel, you're watching this series of programs called Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow. And in this series of programs, we delve into our rich heritage. We look at great personalities of the past and try and learn something from their lives. And without a doubt, there is so much that we can learn from the great personalities of our past. The fact that there can be great role models for us. When it comes to the companions of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that my companions, they are like stars. Follow them and you will never go astray. When it comes to the Ahl Bayt, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said they are the ships. You board these ships and they will take you to the destination. So, if you want to get anywhere, you need a mode of transport and you need to be able to work out where you're going. The ships and the stars, they are our mode and way of insha'Allah Azza wa Jal getting to paradise. And when it comes to the companions, then our belief is that every sahabi is a Jannati. That they're all worthy of paradise and they all are in paradise insha'Allah Azza wa Jal. So we need to, learn about the lives of the Sahaba, learn the lives about the companion, learn the lives about the lives of the Ahl Bayt. And then coming closer to our times, learn about the lives of the great personalities of the past, the pious predecessors, and learn something from their lives. Today we're talking about Imam Hussain, the grandson of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one that was martyred in the battlefield of Karbala. But that's not our topic today. That in itself is is an area that we can learn so much from. You know, a lot of people, they hear about the events that took place in the plains of Karbala, but don't take a lesson from it. You know, one bit of advice before I talk about the status of Imam Hussain is to say to you that, you know, whenever you hear about an event that took place in the history of Islam 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 1,400 years ago, ask yourself that that event has been recorded and it's brought down. You know, if it's an authentic one, and the authenticity can be checked. If that event has been passed down from generation to generation to generation and has got to me in 2025, why? And why in the sense that, why has it been passed down from generation to generation? Not why has it got to me specifically, but why has it been passed down from generation to generation? And the reason being is that these events that took place, the incident that took place, they've been passed down from generation to generation so we can learn something from it. Not so that it's a good story. So if we were to talk about the events of Karbala and what happened there, and we say, oh, that was a really good, interesting story. That was pretty sad. It was a sad story, that wasn't it? Yeah. And people like watching, you know, reading sad stories nowadays. The aim is not to listen to that story and be aware of that story so that you've listened to a sad story. No, the aim is to learn something from that. In the same way, when we hear about our pious predecessors, what can we learn about them? Yes, we are told about events that inform us of their status. And by informing us of the status, then we know that if this person has this status, then he's worth listening to, isn't he? Like I mentioned at the beginning, that his status amongst all of those peoples were Sayyiduna Imam Hussain. He held his hand and he said, this person has the greatest status. His mother, his father, his grandfather, his uncle, his auntie, all of them, they have a great personality. This great person is in front of you. Now that event has been passed down from generation to generation, so we understand the status of Imam Hussain, so that we can say, well, if this person has this status, then he's worth listening to, he's worth finding out about. In the same way, another event took place, which talks about the status of Imam Hussain. It stated that Imam Hussain was once returning from participating in a funeral, and when he felt tired and sat at a place to take some rest, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah started dusting off the blessed feet of Imam Hussain with his shawl. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Which Imam Hussain forbade him from doing this. Upon this, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah said that by Allah Azza wa Jal, if people come to know what I know about your grandeur and the honor that you have, they would not just wipe your feet, they would carry you on their shoulders. Allahu Akbar. This is the status of Imam Hussain. This is the status of him. Coming towards the end of the program, there's a little package that I need to get in. Let's have this final package of the day, and inshallah, when we come back, we're going to give you an event that took place in the life of Imam Hussain when somebody came to him and asked him 3 questions. Let's go to the break, the final package of the day, and inshallah, when we come back, we'll talk about the 3 questions. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Our deen, our religion of Islam teaches us to have good assumptions regarding others. Always think positively about others. And that's helpful for your dunya, for your akhirah, your health, your well-being. Thinking positively. There's so many studies on this. And doing the opposite, meaning overthinking or thinking ill of others, thinking wrongly of others, only leads to more negativity, more stress, more worry. This is something that we should avoid. And wrongful assumptions come from a diseased heart. A heart that is ill, afflicted. We need to cure that. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us about the importance of having good assumptions. And he declared this as ibadah, yes, worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you think good of others. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Husnul dhanni min husnil ibadah. That thinking good of others, having a good assumption, is from the most beautiful forms of worship. Min husnil ibadah. And we neglect this today. We think ill of others. Oh, I don't like the way he talks. I think he's like this. I think he's arrogant. I think he's condescending. I think he's like this. What proof do we have? Have we taken his heart out? Have we analyzed it? Have we checked the heart? We don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. He is the all-knowing. We're not. So, afiyah, well-being lies in thinking good of others. And there's only khair in that, thinking good of others. But as for thinking ill of others, there's only nuqsan, harm and evil in that. So we need to carry out this most beautiful form of worship which is thinking good about our fellow Muslims.
Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Another beautiful pearl of advice. It is narrated, and I mentioned before the break that we're going to give you these 3 questions that were asked to Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu. It is narrated that a Bedouin beggar, one who resides in the village of Arabia, came to the grandson of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu. He gave him salam, and he said, whilst asking a question, I've heard that your beloved grandfather sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when you have any need, then ask from one of these 4 people, either a noble personality from the Arabs, or a generous master, or a bearer of the Quran, or from such a person whose countenance is bright and illuminating. And you possess all of these 4 signs, as you are an Arab, you are noble because of your grandfather, showing generosity is your blessed habit, and the glorious Quran was revealed in your house. And as for a bright countenance, I've heard the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that whenever you want to see me, look towards Hassan and Hussain radiyallahu anhu. Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu then said to him, what is your need? So the person wrote his need and he presented to him. And he said, I will ask you 3 questions. If you answer one of them correctly, then 1/3 of my entire wealth is yours. If you answer 2 questions, then 2/3 of the wealth is yours. And if you answer all 3 questions, then all of my wealth is yours. And he extended the bag of money which had an Iraqi stamp on it towards the Bedouin. And he asked the first question. What is the greatest action? Before I answer, think yourself. What is the greatest action? Allahu Akbar. The Bedouin replied, embracing faith in Allah Azza wa Jalla. Seems simple, but having that faith in Allah, having that trust in Allah, having that true faith and trust in Allah is the greatest action. Allahu Akbar. He then asked the second question, how can one attain salvation from destruction? How can you save yourself? He replied, having that certainty in Allah, having that true belief in Allah, then you will attain salvation. He then said, while asking him the third question, what thing adorns a person? And he said, such knowledge which is accompanied by the strength to tolerate, that is the greatest thing that you can have on your crown. After hearing these answers, Imam Hussain radiyallahu said a few more things to him, and then while smiling, granted him the wealth that he had. Allahu Akbar. What do we learn from this? Faith in Allah, trust in Allah, certainty in Allah, and having that knowledge to have that forbearance, to have that strength to tolerate. These 3 acts, these 3 things are great gifts for us. Only a few words, only a few sentences, hardly anything there, but there's so much there for us. Do we have that faith in Allah? Do we really? Do we trust Allah? Do we really? Do we have that strength to tolerate? Again, many of us will say yes, but do we really? And that's something that we need to ponder over. Nowadays, we put our trust more in people that we know than in Allah. Nowadays, we find it hard to tolerate each other, the strength to tolerate, because we feel that we don't need anybody. Nowadays, we feel that, because everything is available. In the modern world, everything is available. So, astaghfirullah, people are going towards the boundaries of where they should not be going, in the sense that the beliefs that they had, well, I don't need anything now. I don't need anybody now. I've got everything. I don't need to ask Allah for anything because I've got everything. Astaghfirullah. Yes, you may have everything, but in the blink of an eye, it can go. In the blink of an eye, you can lose everything. Look around the world. okay, there may be not a war happening in your country. And if a war's to happen, then you'd get loads of notice for it. Let's say for argument's sake. But a tsunami, an earthquake, a volcano, a flood, can they not happen? In the blink of an eye. To have that trust in Allah, to have that faith in Allah, to have that strength to be able to tolerate. And that strength to tolerate is not just tolerate each other, tolerate the situation that you're facing. Being able to have that sabr, that patience, that whatever Allah Azza wa Jal puts you through, that is better for you. The mindset that we should have is that it is better for me. You know, like, I'll give it a small example. I came in here, the brother said, do you want a cup of tea? I said, yeah, I want a cup of tea. What tea do you want? Make me English tea. He said, there's no English tea. You give me green tea. The green tea is probably better for me. It's probably healthier for me. It's probably better for me. Because that's what Allah enabled me to drink today. So it must be better for me. Having that mindset that whatever happens is better for you. Time again is against us. I've got something that I want to mention very, very quickly. We've only got a few minutes. Another incident that took place in the life of Imam Hussain, it says that the servant of Imam Hussain states that I was with Imam Hussain when he passed by a house. He asked for water from that house, and the housemaid, out of respect for the status and the grandeur, brought water in a bowl which was silver plated from inside and presented it to Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain, he removed the silver plating from the bowl. So it's like a bowl, like imagine a bowl and then having a silver plate inside the bowl. So it was a bowl inside the bowl. Imam Hussain removed that bowl and then he drank from that. And he said, take this to your house, and then he drank the water. You know, there's a fiqh ruling here that it is not allowed to eat and drink in gold and silver vessels. It is not allowed to apply oil from its bowls, apply fragrance from the perfume bottle, burn bakhur in an incense burner made from these. This prohibition is for both men and women. Women can wear jewelry made from these, i.e. gold and silver, and aside from jewelry, using gold and silver for any other purpose is impermissible for both men and women. So again, you know, our brothers that are out there, sometimes you see them with a bracelet. Impermissible in Islam. Who are you trying to oppress? You know, I'm speaking to my brothers now that wear the bracelets, that wear the chains, that wear the earrings. Who are you trying to impress? And is it worth it? That getting the impress of them people. I remember once we had in Lakador, and I'm again looking at the time thinking I've only got 1 minute, that we met somebody that he had a string vest on, he had chains on. And he said to me that, brother, this is not me. And I said to him, did I say anything about you? Did I say anything about your attire? He said, no. He said, the problem is that if I'm not like this, then I won't have any friends. And that hurt me. And this happened a long time ago, I'll never forget it. You know, we need to instill the strength in ourselves that we can stand up and go against the norm, not have to comply to what society wants us to comply to. You know, if we are proud of who we are, and then this is half the problem, we're not proud of who we are, we're not proud to be Muslims, proud to stand up and have the beard, proud to have the Imam Sharif. You know, be proud of who you are. You are the greatest of all generations, or the greatest of all communities. Be proud of who you are. Be thankful to Allah that you are a Muslim. And don't be afraid that if I don't wear this bracelet, if I don't wear this necklace, if I don't wear these earrings, then I won't have any friends. Allahu Akbar. Stand up and be proud of who you are. There's so much that I can say, and there's only very little that I've said. We talked very, very briefly about the life of Imam Hussain. I advise everybody to please go away, read about our pious predecessors. If you visit the website www.dawatislami.net, then there are many, many books there about our great personalities. Download them completely free of charge and read them books. Until the next time, keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.